If I had told you at the beginning of this year that we would have been facing a pandemic by the name of COVID-19 that was going to turn this world upside down, you would have never believed it. The COVID Conquerors series on the Aisha Muhammad podcast. In this climate of fear, confusion, and suppression, I saw the need to create the COVID Conquerors podcast series. COVID Conquerors features phenomenal people who are, despite their challenges, thriving personally or in service to their community. COVID Conquerors airs live on Facebook and YouTube every other Thursday at 9 p.m. GMT, that's UK time, on the Aisha Muhammad podcast. This podcast aims to encourage, inspire, and empower you, to reassure you that in this time of uncertainty, should you look, you will see that there are great opportunities for you to thrive in aspects of your life, regardless to whom or what. It's time to start the live podcast where you'll meet this week's phenomenal guest. Let the countdown begin. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Aisha Muhammad podcast. This is the series COVID Conquerors. For those of you who may not know who I am, my name is Aisha Muhammad. I'm a self-love coach here in the United Kingdom. And today I have on the show a phenomenal guest, a great, mighty, powerful sister of mine, so sweet and so humble, Sister Chaava Muhammad. I'm going to tell you a little bit about her. She has been in marketing and promotions for nearly 30 years, with her start as the New York State promotions coordinator for Broner Brothers and Upscale magazine. In this time, she's founded 5 businesses focusing on everything that she loves, from event planning, educational and international travel and tourism, gardening and agriculture. Now that's just a little snippet, okay, of the work that this wonderful sister does, because she also is the founder of Heaven in Me Spa. I don't know if you've been to any of their events, but they're very good. And we're going to discuss and find out so much more about that. So, Sister Chaava, how are you?
I am doing excellent. Greetings, greetings, greetings from heaven, Sister Aisha Muhammad. Thank you so much for having me on your podcast. And by the way, I absolutely love that opening. So thank you. I was like,
Oh,
felt like I was in a motion film there coming on with the.
well, it's really important for us to, take note and stock of our achievements, and just bear witness to the majesty of who we are by Allah's permission. So, yeah, that's awesome. So we are going to go straight into it tonight. We're not going to waste any time. I wanted to know, can you tell us, the story behind Heaven in Me Spa?
Okay, yes, I'm gonna have to go a little back to bring up heaven and me. So I have been doing for nearly 30 years, just spas, in general for women. I started out at the Russian district for Russian bathhouse in New York, and I brought a group of sisters, particularly Muslim sisters, but Christian sisters, other sisters, to the Russian bathhouse in New York as a way to um, bring women together, give them an opportunity to be in a sacred space, to get massage, to be able to swim, um, to be able to just enjoy themselves, relax themselves, all in a setting where it was just them and that they could feel comfortable. So we started out in New York, and from New York with the women, we've moved to places like Charlotte, North Carolina, where we've been to some of the top resorts, and whether it's North Carolina, Florida, um, actually to internationally to the Bahamas. And then we settled in Atlanta. And from Atlanta, after doing a few spas, um, we realized fast pace and fast forward. Once we got into the COVID, the pandemic, we understood that health wise, number one, there was just not a place to be able to go and to have that type of experience.
Mm-hmm.
So we decided that, we would take to the internet. So how could we do that? How could we actually have a full-fledged spa experience virtually? And by God's permission and God's grace, we were able to accomplish that by having the wonderful practitioners that were able to come through the screen and bring their spirit of love and their spirit of their expertise in their practice, whether it was through energy, Reiki, whether it was anything for the skin, the mind, the body, and the soul. But we picked topics that could actually come through the screen. So although we weren't having the physical touch aspect, the education aspect of it, the energy aspect of it, the love aspect of it was there. And so we begin to say it's time to be selfish. We
Mm-hmm.
have to learn how to go into the chamber of self, pull out the passions in self, pull out the self-love, and display that on the screen in the sanctity of the sacredness of the sisterhood. And then I'll tell you some more because that began to expand and expand and expand.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so that may be some for some other questions in terms of the expansion. We've been expanding heaven. It's just been moving really, really quickly. But the main point was to say that there's no place in heaven for COVID,
Mm-hmm.
because we could find that space that we can share, even though it is inside of our homes, that we can reach out and we can touch and we can uplift those who are not able to leave the sanctities of their home, but we
Mm-hmm.
will be able to find that peace from within and then display it without.
Awesome. Awesome. That that's a very good initiative that you have started to, which a lot of people have had to do, basically. People who are out and about in their work have had to pivot now and find a way to put it online. So it's good that you've been able to be creative to
Yeah.
put this together so that people can still benefit and feel some kind of relaxation, stress relief from having a virtual spa. So that was excellent. Now, earlier this month, the UK was thrust into another national lockdown, and many other countries too, they followed suit. And the cases of mental health are on the rise. According to Centre for Mental Health
Hmm.
.org.uk, groups of people whose mental health is at greatest risk include those with existing mental health problems, people with long-term physical conditions, women and children experiencing violence and abuse, and Black, Asian, and minority ethnic communities. Now, the combination of existing structural inequalities and the unequal impacts of the pandemic mean that people whose mental health was at greatest risk prior to COVID-19 are likely to bear the brunt of the emergency longer term. So
Hmm.
poverty and financial precariousness, racism, discrimination and trauma, and now isolation have all been heightened at this time. So could we say that Heaven in Me Spa, as it increases its global reach and grows in exposure, can assist, like be seen as contributing towards being a solution at this time to people all around the world? Was that one of the objectives?
Absolutely, absolutely. So there's a few things with Heaven and Me Spa. We deal with the skin, the mind, the body, and the soul. And one of the things that before you would even say mental health, you
Mhm,
may think of a certain stigma. This person may be bipolar, they may be schizophrenic, and we may think on in terms of that. But any at any point, anxiety and grief and stress could tip a perfectly what you would say normal person into a space of having mental challenges,
mhm,
lockdown, and cause mental challenges. And so, what Heaven and Me has done is not only have we partnered with specific practitioners that can give us specific things. So, let's take, for example, specific natural herbs, specific natural things like sunlight, specific, even if that means you're on the lockdown, but you have a balcony that you can step out to at a certain time and
mhm,
sit with some sun, some joy, some specific things that you can do, whether it's with gardening or agriculture on the inside of your home. Put your things in storage. We have practitioners that will come in knowing that one of the things that is happening is that our minds are being distracted, our minds are being confused because we're not used to doing the things that we so freely would necessarily do. So what we have looked for is practitioners from all around the world that
mhm,
can and that can give simple things that we can take, whether it's drinking a certain amount of water, whether it is some type of meditation, some type of humming, just
mhm,
a particular breath on how to
mhm,
breathe that will bring the energy that you need, that will clear the mind. So definitely Heaven and Me Spa, um, on a global level, but then on a personal level, knowing having family members, friends who will suffer for some type of anxiety and grief personally.
mhm,
We offer those things that can actually assist in that area, can assist in making people find joy, find what we would say pleasure moments, so that they are not overthinking the fact that I can't do that which I used to do. And
mhm,
above all of that, and on top of all of that, all of the practitioners, um, because it's their passion, they love to do what they do. So
mhm,
now that everyone's in home, it's not necessarily about, oh, I do this as my job for financial gain, but now I do this in service or as a service, and that love comes across and it comes through the screen. And so I'm just happy to be a part of the Heaven and Me Spa family. I'm happy that the practitioners from all over the country, all over the universe, all over the world who want to share those gifts that, in the hustle and bustle, sometimes you don't think about the gifts that you have and how to share
mhm.
them. So yes, we pray to definitely be a an answer, an opportunity to be an answer for those who would need it.
Excellent. I've attended, as I said before, and I really did enjoy the event. And I think that now we're being forced to, you know, just admit, even those who feel that they are so strong and resilient, to look into themselves and realize that, at some stages, it's almost a year this has been going on now, throughout this, I maybe have felt overwhelmed. The fact that I can't see family members is really starting to get to me. People have experienced losses of loved ones, losses of
Mhm,
property, their
mhm,
jobs, income, and it's been really quite overwhelming. People are actually looking for online communities to be able to engage with, find a sense of belonging, and also something to alleviate what it is that they're feeling and what they're going through. So it's definitely timely that we have the
mhm,
Heaven in Me Spa as a resource, a mental health resource, but at the same time, a place that people can, go to find like-minded people and build relationships with. So once again, very, very well done. Very well done for the Heaven in Me Spa. We've kind of touched on this already. How important is it for us to seek a way to heal at this time? And when I say this, I'm going to frame it in the way of looking at our children, because our children, obviously, they've been impacted by this pandemic situation in regards to their schooling. Some of them are facing isolation. They're having to adjust some, part of the year they've attended school, then they're back home in front of the laptop trying to
Mhm.
school. The sense of uncertainty and not really knowing what's next. How important is it for us as parents, or just as a community as a whole, to consider and looking at how we can aid our children with their mental well-being at this time?
The first thing, thank you for that question, Sister Aisha. That's a very, very important question. And one of the things with Heaven and Me Spa, we do have, and we just launched, we're so
Mhm,
excited to launch just past weekend, a little selfish, the Heaven and Me Youth Spa. And first thing that I want to say to that is that we pay attention. So although I know that it's pandemic, although I know that it may be stressful, it has given women and men, family, the opportunity to even take a moment to pay attention to our children, pay
mhm,
attention to our youth. And given that opportunity, now that they have gotten our attention, whether we
mhm,
want them to have our attention or not, now that
mhm,
they have our attention, now we can begin to really, really take a look at what they have. Take a look at the service that they can be not only to themselves, but to others. So
mhm,
it's an opportunity to sit down and have conversation with young people, sit down over the dinner table and
mhm,
really what's going on in their beautiful minds. Many of them have beautiful, beautiful minds that would absolutely take you to another space, things that we've never even thought of, things that
mhm,
we pull out because of playing video games all day or just rushing home from school, doing homework, getting prepared to maybe sports or this or
yeah.
that. But you really just don't have the opportunity to sit down and have a conversation with them. And
Mhm,
once you find out that you can have a conversation and find those thoughts, just like with us, it's time for us to go inside and find the God given talents and the God given gifts that's given to us. They have God given gifts and God given talents. And then now we, as parents and as mentors and aunties, we can then find those communities. And right now they are online. But imagine finding those communities where they can go online with like minded youth, with like
mhm,
minded young people to solve a problem, to offer a service. So, right now, I think that is phenomenal. I think that, when they share that, hey, I want to do this, I want to do that, that they've actually had some time to think about it.
mhm,
And so it's not so much, oh, this is what everybody else is doing, because as we know, peer pressure is something. So if everybody
mhm,
else is doing this and I'm out with everybody else, then maybe I should be doing this too. But now that they
right,
are in a space where they have to really look and say, hey, I didn't really like doing that anyway. I know we was doing football, but I really don't like football. I like
mhm,
playing piano, or I like doing this, or I like, cooking, chef at home. Whatever those things are, we should then be able to allow them to express themselves. I know if we can just be a little personal, I'm looking forward to having your son, Brother Khalil, the Heaven in Me family
mhm,
as a little selfish. I mean, he did such a wonderful job with his video and
mhm.
sharing. He just has such a great personality. And
It
so
does.
this type of venue is excellent for him. So now you're able to set up a venue such as this for a week
Mhm,
for us to share him all around the world, and for other people to be able to see and share in his brilliance. And
Mhm.
so I think that the main thing is that with every problem, there's an opportunity to solve that problem. And now again, being aware. So heaven is a state of mind. And
Mhm.
sometimes we're not in the state of mind to be aware because we're so busy, so that we don't take the time to even sit ourselves in heaven at once or sit ourselves in that state of mind. But definitely for the youth, this is the opportunity to learn them, learn what they love, learn what they like to do, cultivate what they like to do, and put them in a community where they can do it. Howbeit online right now, as we're online right now, maybe when this pandemic is over, we would have utilized that time to cultivate something in them, and they'll be ready to take this universe by storm.
Excellent. Yeah, yeah. Kalika's really he's ready to bust out there. There's no holding that boy back.
Yes, yes.
It's definitely important for us to take this time to nurture our children right now and to get to know them more and bond with them and draw out their brilliance. Um,
Absolutely.
Definitely is time to do that.
Hmm.
And do you have any advice for parents who may, be adjusting, working from home, trying to, solve these problems that this current climate is bringing? If they may be slightly overwhelmed, what would you say to them? What advice would you give to them?
I would tell them to be selfish.
Hmm.
Selfish. That's a two-letter word, not selfish. That's one thing, but selfish. And what
Hmm.
that really means is the ish is means time. So it means take 15 to 30 minutes to deal with self. So I would say take a moment, pull back from the computer, even though we want to be online and that's the way that we're communicating. Pull back from everything and take at least 15 to 30 minutes per day just for yourself, just to
Hmm.
have a thought, a new thought, just to explore that which is within inside you. Um, I had a taste for chocolate cake this week. I really, really, really just had a taste for chocolate cake. Now, um, I've had, I like to bake. But it's just never enough time. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna take a moment and I'm just gonna make this chocolate cake for me. I'm gonna make the chocolate cake. I took out my butter, sat it in the bowl, let it soften on its own. In between all of the meetings that I was taking, I said,
Hmm.
I'm gonna make this chocolate cake because I just have a taste for it and it's gonna make me happy. And I mean, I was just so ecstatic. It probably didn't look that well. Let me show you all. I don't know if you can see it. Look, right? Can you see my chocolate cake? A little bit, maybe. I don't
Come
know
come
what
over this way. Yeah, I can see you got icing up on
yeah,
that.
I see on there, right? And so I brought it to work with me where I'm at right now. I'm at my office, but I just took a minute. That made me so excited. So
Hmm.
as a mother or as a wife, those things that's just going to make you feel good to sit yourself in heaven. It could be making a recipe. It could be, to take the time out to a hot herbal bath, a cup of
Hmm.
ginger tea. Just lock yourself in somewhere. Put it in a fancy glass. Pull out the whole tea set that's normally for my good china for
Special occasions.
pull it out. Pull out the good
Mhm.
china and make yourself a cup of tea and just spend some time doing something for yourself, being selfish. And that's what we advocate with Heaven and Me. Because
Mhm.
in a world full of hell, it's up to us to sit ourselves in heaven at once. And the other thing is practice saying no.
That's the one.
Practice saying no, not today. No, mm,
Mhm.
no, not right now.
Yep.
You know,
Correct.
sometimes that's a lot of stress with the yes, 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 to do this, to do that, to do that.
Hmm.
Take a moment and really ascertain, is this something that I want to do in my life? Is this something that I want? And if it's not, eliminate it. Eliminate it.
Yeah, at this time, we really can't be bogging ourselves down with things that's not for us. You have to know what's for you and what's not for you, and to keep it moving, you know. It's not to weigh yourself down, doing things that you just don't have the capacity to do at this time, or you just know that it's not conducive to your well-being. I think it's important for us to know that we actually do have a choice. You have the right to choose. So just make a wise choice that's going to help you for where you are in this time and what your needs are. And this time is giving us time to think about what it is we need, so yeah, that's some really good advice. Thank you for that. Thanks for that. We are going to now just go for a quick break, and then we are going to come back to continue this wonderful interview with our sister Chaava, who is the founder of Heaven in Me Spa. And whilst we're doing that, if you could share the broadcast, share it on your timeline. If you have the option, then you can host a watch party, and we'll be back soon.
Okay, I'm going to try and share.
It's great you're enjoying the show. Are you a COVID conqueror? Are you thriving personally or by serving your community during this pandemic? If this is you and you want to inspire others by sharing your story on the COVID Conquerors series, apply now. Send an email to aishapodcast@yahoo.com. Oh, and remember to share this podcast with those you know it will help. Now, back to the interview.
And we're back. We're here with the wonderful sister Chaava. She's the founder of Heaven in Me Spa. And we're going to just go back into the interview now. Thank you for joining us. You could be doing anything you please, but you've decided to share space and time with us this evening, afternoon for some. So, Sister Chaava.
Yes.
What type of practitioners do you have? You spoke about some of them and the fact that they like to give off their time and of themselves and they enjoy what they're doing. You've had some events and some of them have, come forth with their gifts and talents. Can you just tell us a little more about the type of expert practitioners that you have at the Heaven in Me Spa?
Wow, I am absolutely overwhelmed with the practitioners that we have. We first started in the US, and so we have practitioners that practice for the skin, mind, body, and soul. So specifically, in the realm of skin, that could be practitioners that work directly with the skin for facials, for using natural herbs for the body to give the skin that brilliant look. Also, we as women, even when we look at our skin and our scalp and our hair is a part of that. So we have practitioners that work with the hair. Why skin? Because most people say mind, body, and soul. But we
Mm-hmm.
started with skin because the skin, this big skin, is part of our representation. That's the first thing that you see, and it is your first representative. So we
Mm-hmm.
want to make sure that many times, especially starting out as women, um, you know, that's big for us. How we look, you know, you see my COVID. Are you looking at my COVID eyebrows? Okay, those are my COVID eyebrows. I
If
have
you
to.
never mentioned them, I wouldn't have looked. You look fine to me.
I'm still a little shaky. I got to get out and let somebody thread them or do something. But those are my COVID eyebrows. But those are some of the important things that COVID has put us behind. But a lot of
Mhm.
people have learned to. We've had practitioners that come on and teach you how to do it yourself. Do your own
Mhm.
eyebrows. Keep
Mhm.
radiant looking skin throughout all of this.
Mhm.
Bathe with the skin and keep your skin radiant. Then we have mindish. So
Mhm.
those in and we use the practice of journaling. So we have some excellent coaches to come in and to show you how to use a physical practice of journaling to get up in your own mind and to share with yourself, to find those things within yourself, self-improvement, self-assessment, self-examination, so you can
Mhm.
find what it is that you love. Then, of course, we can't forget the body. So we have people who do yoga, dance therapy, line dancing. So anything that's going to get that body moving. And then, of course, supplementing those with natural herbs, supplementing those with things that you would need to know about diabetes and, nutrition. All of that is the practitioners that we have. And then we move into the soul, where we learn again to breathe, where we learn to tap into our divinity and our higher self. And that may work through Reiki or energy work, that may work through crystals. So we have people who are practitioners who work with crystals, work with energy, work with Reiki, work with breath, the life force within our bodies, clearing of the chakras. So all of those things that we can take the time and do for ourselves. And what we've found is that those things actually transmit very well through the screen, because we are all energy in these physical bodies. And so
Mhm.
those are some of the practitioners. Now we have opened up to actually music, color, medicine. So we have practitioners, we call them. I had one practitioner who is a spoken word artist, and she says, "Well, am I a practitioner?" And the words that she speak, how she can clear and ease and soothe the person's mind. I said, "Oh, you're absolutely a practitioner." So
Mhm.
from the U.S. To the U.K., we have some wonderful practitioners in the U.K. And then now we have some wonderful practitioners all across the globe from all seven continents. So we're looking to give our new date for the 24-hour, 7-day 24-hour, seven continent, 19 countries, universal healing. So if they go to our pages, we will be updating those new dates. If they go to Heaven and Me Spa, either our Facebook or Instagram, in the next coming days, we'll be able to update those dates. But we have people who practice music, practice art with spoken word. We have the singing bowls. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, we're very excited about the practitioners.
There's just a variety of them, whatever you're into, it's like you will find it at the Heaven in Me Spa. It's definitely the place to go. These singing bowls, I see more and more people talking about them. They sound so beautiful and hypnotic. That's definitely something that I want to be engaging more with. That's awesome. So yeah, let us know when the new date is. We will have your details up nearer the end of the interview, and I'll also paste them into the comments as well, so that you can follow Heaven in Me Spa and keep up to date with what's happening. So since you've been having the online activity, I wondered what success stories you have. I think, when you first hear about taking a spa online, a lot of things come up, because when you think about a spa, you think about head and neck massage, hot stone massage, all these different kind of things. Like, how are people going to benefit online? And you have given insight into that very wonderfully so. So, what successes have come about from that? Let us know about somebody who has been taken from one point to another in engaging with the Heaven in Me Spa.
We've had several success stories. I want to give you two if I can, really
Oh,
quickly.
please. Yeah.
The first thing that we also wanted to let you know is we actually allow you and show you how to set a space in your home. You have
Mhm.
to set a space for heaven. So we give tutorials on how to commandeer a space in your home and how to put up your candles. And we have um, a young sister, Denise Renee Muhammad, who teaches about aromatherapy, so how to put this right scents in your home, how to put
Mhm.
fresh flowers in your home. So set the stage for heaven. So that's one of the many success stories that we've had is that people have said that, you know what, even though I'm in my house, I really feel like I am in the spa because
Mhm.
I've set that space to make it feel like the spa, to make it smell like the spa. That's one. Secondly, we've had several people tell us how that we've done surveys to find out, okay, is this something that you would only do now because of COVID, because you're stuck inside? And we've had several women say that, you know what, I felt so much like I was at the spa that even when we're able to get out of our homes, we still want selfish. We still want the virtual online Heaven and Me spa because it's very, very much interactive. We
Mhm.
show you, it's one thing to be pampered, and those are some of the things that you get when you go to the spa. You get pampered, so you have someone who's physically doing the massage. But if
Mhm.
I can show you how to grab a pressure point in the middle of your hand, right here,
Mhm.
and you do it for yourself in that moment when you become stressed, and you can feel yourself sipping on some valerian tea that's going to bring your stress hormones down and
Mhm.
to hit that right pressure point that's going to take away an instant headache, or that's going
Mhm.
to leave you instantly, or sniff some peppermint oil
Mhm.
aromatherapy instantly, and now you feel great. Those are some of the success stories that we've had, is that
Mhm.
people are able to now do these things for themselves and instantly. So that's one thing that I wanted to share. We've just had people to just come on and just say, thank you, you've changed my life. I really feel like that I've been in heaven, both not just on the participant side, but let me share this on the practitioner side.
Mhm.
Because as you know, the practitioners, they're not able to do what they normally would do in the call of duty or the call of service. So when a practitioner is able to call me and say, Sister Kava, you gave me an avenue to serve, to do what it is that I love, because they shut down all of the parlors, they shut down all of the centers, so we can't go anywhere. So how do we now take this talent and serve someone? And some of them didn't realize that, well, you can do it through the screen as long as you have that love, as long as you
Mhm.
channel that same energy, you can channel it through the screen. And then I like to tell about my little nephew, my nephew, who I was divinely inspired to say, hey, you know what, we're starting something called the Him Spa. And Him Spa is an exclusive Heaven and Me spa specifically for men and men only, a sacred place for men to sit themselves in heaven. Hey, do you want to be a part of this? And he said, yeah, he accepted. I didn't know this at the time, but I found out
Mhm.
that my nephew Dawood was actually going to school to do film and to do productions, and so I was able to allow him to come on and to be the tech person for the Him Spa, because again, is an exclusive production and a spa for men.
Mhm.
And that just happened this weekend. And his mother just had to bear. She said, I don't know what you did, but he is all in. Aunties have this superpower. So we were able to tap into something that he loved in terms of just the production part of it. So we have internships for young people, again, finding the avenue for them to come and to bring their talents. And then while he was supposed to be on doing tech, he found out how he absolutely loved the sessions that they were offering to the men on the nature of light and crystals. So he had to come and say, wow, I enjoyed myself. That class was wonderful. So here's
Mhm.
a 19-year-old who is now into light and the crystals and energy, just by joining on the tech portion. So there's something for everyone to do, from the practitioner side to the actual person who's actually receiving and tapping into a frequency of love and a frequency of healing. And so we're just excited about that. We're so excited to serve in that way.
Yeah, and I think it's brilliant that there's actually something for the brothers. as well, because when it comes to mental health, when it comes to stress, when it comes to the suicide rate, unfortunately, Black men are very high up in those statistics. So for them to be able to participate in the Heaven in Me Spar for the brothers, I think that's really awesome. And I
Yes.
think that there is more of a culture now of having safe spaces and positive spaces for men to come together and deal with what they have to deal with. I think that's really good. So
And
mhm.
I just wanted to also say, and we actually have MD doctors that that took part. So yes, you have your spiritual, you have your, um, your facilitators for the mind. But definitely in our community as Black people, we know that sometimes it's hard to get the Black man to go see a doctor,
Mm.
to go check a prostrate, to go and
Yes.
take
Mhm.
care, make sure that their heart is doing well. And so to be able to put that in, I'm very, very grateful and thankful. We had a doctor, Dr. Richardson, to come in and to offer that medical part to the brothers as well. And we're going to be sharing that. So we had something for the focus for their mind, the body, the
Mhm.
soul, the energy work. But definitely just letting them know, get that checkup, you know, check on yourself, make sure that you are doing well emotionally, but yet physically as well.
Yes. Yes. Definitely. Man, woman, and child, we have to be catered for in this time and be keeping each other strong. It's very, very, very necessary. That just brings me on to something. I just want to announce that I will be on Clubhouse later for a sister session, Self Love 101. It's your time now. That's going to be happening. The details are on the screen. It will happen every Thursday, and tonight is the first session. It's sisters only, and I'm just asking you to come along now. Come along. We need some self love and some self care, and I am here to facilitate, to be an outlet. Going to be discussing what self love is and how you see self love,
Mm.
barriers of why maybe you're not practicing it, the things that we're facing. It's a space to come and discuss and find support. So come along, okay?
I
So
think
the
what you
next
said
thing.
about that support is just very important. So thank you for what you're doing, especially, so that people don't feel defeated, for you
Mhm,
sharing and taking the opportunity to share those who are having wins despite the COVID pandemic, because you get so much fear, so much,
mhm,
oh my God, what we're gonna do? Oh my God. But there are those people who are working right through it. And
mhm,
fact that a lot of times they don't get the airtime, they don't get the coverage to let you know that, hey, there are people that are want to work and serve you out of the love of their hearts. I just want to take a moment and to thank Sister Aisha Muhammad for
mhm.
this platform and every platform that you would offer of service to the women in particular.
Thank you. Thank you. That means much. Each one teach one. We have something that we could share, something that we've learned and is helping us. Just have a duty to share it with others, because we got to rise together. We've got to survive together and we can thrive together. This is the work that must be done in this hour. Some of us are very blessed to have a foundation whereby we were kind of prepped of this time, to know what to expect. We may not have known how it was going to materialize in the world, but now we do. We have some foundation. We can dig deep, we can stand, and even then, still, some will need a helping hand at some point because life will throw some things at you. Um, so yeah, it's just a duty. It's a duty that we have. Likewise with your platform that you're building, with what you're doing, each of us, who take on the responsibility must find means and ways to utilize our talents among our people so that they can be helped. That's the way I see it. So next question. What is it now? What can we expect to see from Heaven and Me Spa in coming months? You kind of told us.
Yes.
But yes.
So in coming months, this thing has, like I said, it's expanded so quickly over the last, we started online virtually in
Mhm,
August. And so now we're just in January. And so over the past 6 months, we went from the U.S. virtual spa to
mhm,
the UK, and now we have a Little Selfish, which is going to be featured just for youth. Um, and now we have Him Spa, which is sacred just for men. But I'm
mhm,
most excited about the 24-hour Universal Spa, wherein we are really, really going across the globe and across the universe to find specifically
mhm,
indigenous healing, indigenous, aboriginal healing, going back to that which is from the earth, going back to that which we once knew, to bring it forward to see how we can add on to that to kind of not just heal ourselves as a person, but to actually heal the earth, to raise the
mhm,
frequency of the earth. And in this pandemic where disease live on the earth, this pestilence to the earth,
mhm,
we can raise the frequency above that. So we're looking forward to the 24-hour universal healing spas. We also will be featuring some of the artistic work, so the music and the photography and the culture from around the world. Because once again, this beautiful, beautiful mind that we were blessed in, if we would focus it on the beauty of the earth, of the divinity of the earth, of the stars, of the solar system, then it would take us out of that space of fear, that
mhm,
space of stress, that space of I don't have enough, or that space of want, because we're able to see how culturally, globally, out of the cultural revolution, whether it's with art that gives us passion, whether it's through music that gives us that passion, that our minds can take us anywhere that we want to go. And we want to be able to portray that 24 hours, no different than you can turn on the channel and for 24 hours you can see people beating somebody in the head, or this is wrong. Oh no, that's wrong. Or this is
mhm,
wrong happening to the planet. Or no, did you see this person steal this from that person? Or this fight? Or well, we want you to be able to turn to the Heaven and Me Spa channel and for 24 hours just go across the world, the universe, the globe, and just hear the good news. So we are looking to launch that 24-hour streaming on Blackstream Live, which is a Blackstream.live, which is a Black-owned streaming company.
mhm,
And so we're looking to be able to just stream. So every time that you come to that channel, you is heaven on earth. You can sit yourself in heaven at once. So we're working furiously towards that. It's a big
mhm,
feat, as we came to find out. So we're working with our tech and our capacity to expand our breast and to expand heaven. So that's what some of the things that we can look at next. Couple of podcasts, probably some um, some some social media takeovers. So we're going to have a lot of the practitioners to come on to our
mhm.
social um, Instagram page on Fridays at 1 o'clock. We have a different practitioner that comes on and give free tips. So we got to have you on, Sister Aisha, because we have to have you come on
Most
one
definitely.
day.
I'd love that. I'd
Yeah.
love that. I really love what you're doing. The more you explain it, is the more I can see all of the different elements that you've put into it. This is a divine project that you have there, and you are like, there's something for everybody, in how you're reaching out. It's going to resonate with so many people, and has the opportunity for them to be touched in so many different ways, color, music. It's just awesome. It really, really is. So it just seems like a lot of thought, has gone into it, for
Well,
it to be
I
as
can
brilliant
say
as it
that
is.
a lot of thought, but I really can't say because I really have to say it's a passion of mine, and
Mm,
I just have to say that it really is coming out of the blessings of, like you said, some of us has been taught. So our teachers, specifically me, I have to give praises to and thanks in accommodations and everything to how I have been brought up in my Islam,
Mhm.
in the teachings that I have received. And now all of those things after 30 years
Mm,
have been embedded in me. Now I have
mm,
opportunity to use those in a global world. So, we've said that the teachings of the Nation of Islam, of which I'm a
mhm.
part of, has um,
We're a part
opened.
of.
Yes, that's right. Weird. That's right. That's right. I'm talking to the audience, right? But
You're
the
the
people
Aisha
that we're
Muhammad
part of,
podcast.
let me jump in that. Right. Exactly. But
Yes,
really,
ma'am.
really, it is something that has been embedded, and now in this time, the
Mm,
opportunity for it to come out and and serve and be a servant in that way. I'm just thankful for the divinity in it, and I really can't say, oh, I thought about all these great things, like I have this brilliant mind. No, it's just really the mindset of to be a servant, and
mm,
that we have been taught all of our lives is that we're here to serve. Yeah.
mhm,
So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that for that avenue and for every aspect of everything that um, we have been given in the way of um, I'm just a reflection of you, seeing and
mm.
hearing and overcoming difficulty and overcoming obstacles in the way of service.
Awesome. Love it. Love it. And I think all people of faith as well. There's so
Absolutely.
many different people doing things from all different walks of life. It's amazing how just having time to be forced to be still, you know, brings out the nature of us and what it is we should be doing on the planet,
Absolutely.
which is to be a servant to serve one another. So it's
And I must
definitely been a reset. Yeah.
Yes. And I must say that's the beauty of the Heaven and Me Spa, because heaven does not discriminate. The sun shines on all of us, and we
Hmm.
actually have every religion, every culture that is a part of this. And when I speak to them in the way that I speak to them about, heaven healing the earth, we
Hmm.
have shamans, indigenous shamans from Mexico. We have people from Japan, people from India, people from the UK, people from Africa and South Africa and Ghana. And I mean, I know I'm missing some people from Canada, just from every continent, that
Hmm.
they want to take their original way of healing and to help heal regardless of race, class, creed, or color. And so
Mm.
I'm grateful for that. I'm so grateful for that.
So the Heaven in Me Spa offers universal healing.
Yes, yes, universal healing. Yes.
Awesome. Absolutely awesome. I can't wait for the next one. I really can't wait. So, yes, everybody stay tuned for that, because sometimes seeing is believing. So, get in there and experience it, for yourself, because energy is not lost, merely transferred. And I'll tell you, I'm just loving this interview with you. There's something about you, sister. You're just so calm, you know?
I'm
Your vibratory rate, it's just it's nice. I
listen.
love it. I love it.
You know what? One of the brothers that went to he was supposed to come on for the hymn spot. He had a little technical difficulties, but he was in. I have to make sure I say it right. Tanzania. I hope I'm saying it right. Tanzania.
Tanzania, or some people say
Right.
Tanzania.
Some people say Tanzania, but it's Tanzania, I think.
Yeah.
Tanzania,
Hmm.
right? I think that's how they pronounce it. And
Yes.
so there's a real place in Tanzania where Akuta Matata, that's like my favorite, right? Like the
Hmm.
Lion King and Akuta Matata, no worries.
Mm.
And they really sing the song, and it's Swahili, and it
Hmm.
really means no worries, because there's a bigger universe. No matter what you do, there is something bigger that's in control that you don't have to stress. And I mean, just over the past weeks, some major things happened. Like really,
Hmm.
some major things that could have like took me over, over the top. I'm
Mm.
like, Hakuna Matata, Hakuna Matata, So those are one of the things that I'm just learning. I'm just learning how to let go let God. I say it all the time, right? But
Mm.
really just get into the mode of service, get into the mode of breathing, get into the mode of just universal love and what our intentions are, um, in terms of service, that it will be that as long as we work towards that. And if we hit a bump in the road, okay, no problem. That's a bump in the road, you know.
Mm.
Sometimes we might hit a crater in a road, but every bump, every crater is an opportunity to crawl out of that and to do better, to be bigger,
Mhm.
to do better. And that takes time to learn. That takes some patience. So I'm grateful for my own self growth, for my own self development. So I'm really grateful for that.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. So, if you would like to stay in contact with our sister Kavar, you can do so. I'm gonna put her details up on screen. She's on Instagram, aren't you? You're on Twitter and also Facebook, all at Heaven in Me Spa. So that's very easy to remember. Go like up them pages and follow and stuff so that you don't miss out on anything that she has to offer. So that brings us to the end of this COVID Conquerors episode 2 of the second series. And I just thank you so much for coming on, Sister Kavar, and telling us all about what it is you've been doing with the Heaven in Me Spa and how you've been serving others whilst, going through this time that we're in. It's awesome. So may you continue to be blessed and prosperous with all of your endeavors. That's it. That's it for this week. Oh, if any of you wish to actually appear on the Aisha Muhammad podcast, please do so. You can send a email, details are on the screen, to Aisha mpodcast@yahoo.com. Just drop me a line and say, this is what I'm doing and this is what I would like. I'd like to come on the podcast, and we can see if we're a match and we can take it from there. It would be wonderful to hear for some brothers and also for some youth, because it's phenomenal people that I feature here on COVID Conquerors. It's not just sisters. I have a lot of sisters. I have a brother coming up in a few weeks, but I would just love to get a little bit more of a balance. So please reach out. Those who are listening, if it's not you and you know that it's someone else, they're doing some great work, so you think that this would be good for them, let them drop me a line on the email and we will take it from there. So enjoy the rest of your night. Keep safe and well. Keep the faith. Don't worry about a thing. We'll be good. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me, Sister Aisha. May you be blessed in everything that you do, in your service. And I just want to just greet everyone with peace and paradise, and let them know, sit yourself in heaven at once. You can do that for yourself.
Most definitely. Most definitely. Thank you and good night.
Good night.
I must have set up at least 15 plus food banks.
We need good examples of marriage.
Oh, wow. I am resilient, I am strong, and I am capable.
Sit down and wait for this thing to pass over. We're going to operate. You know what they say, learn to dance in the storm.